Turbulence on an aircraft can be quite unsettling with its flickering lights and violent movement of objects. Now picture this. After enduring such turbulence, the aircraft regains composure and lands safely. However, upon disembarking, the passengers are informed that 37 years have elapsed. It resembles the plot of a television show, right? What follows is the account of a flight that encountered this very scenario. The narrative starts on a seemingly typical summer day, July 2, 1955, with no forewarning of the extraordinary events that would unfold for the 57 individuals on board Pan Am Flight 914. Departing from New York to Miami, Florida, with 4 additional crew members, this plane carried passengers likely eager for a vacation on Miami's scenic beaches. Unbeknownst to them, they were about to face a delay spanning several decades. While the flight commenced without incident and continued smoothly for those aboard, those awaiting its arrival on the ground were about to encounter a mystery. 3 hours post-departure, in an almost mystical turn of events, the flight vanished from radar screens. Control tower personnel in both New York and Miami failed to establish contact with the pilot. Upon comparing notes, they faced a baffling reality. It was as if the aircraft had never taken off. Typical in missing aircraft cases, authorities tirelessly sought answers or any sign of wreckage night and day. They eventually concluded that a malfunction led to a crash at sea, claiming all lives on board, this assumption stemming from the flight's trajectory over the Atlantic Ocean and the absence of any crash reports on land. Despite exhaustive searches, no remains were found. Not a black box, nor bodies or debris. Pan Am issued a statement confirming these suspicions, but could not provide specifics. The airline provided compensation to the bereaved families for their irreplaceable loss, and after extensive Coast Guard searches, the case was closed. Fast forward 37 years to May 21, 1992, a routine day for the air traffic controllers at Caracas Airport in Venezuela. On this day, Juan was overseeing operations in the control tower when an unusual aircraft abruptly entered their airspace. We are aware that this was Flight 914. However, imagine Juan's astonishment at witnessing an antiquated Douglas DC-4 from the 40s nearing landing. Here, accounts differ. Some suggest that this aircraft materialized out of thin air without radar detection. Others assert that it was an unexpected blip on their screens that heralded its mysterious arrival. Disregarding that segment of the tale, disbelief was rampant among Juan and his colleagues in the control booth as they witnessed the events unfold. They even scrutinized the data repeatedly to make sense of what was occurring. Yet, the sudden emergence and model of the plane were merely the beginning. The pilot of Flight 914 broadcasted an alarmed message to the air traffic controllers, querying, "Our current location and ongoing events, what are they?" Juan quickly clarified their proximity to Caracas Airport and seized the moment to ask about their intended route. The response came, "This is Pan American Flight 914, en route from New York to Miami, with 4 crew members and 57 passengers on board." This information left Juan even more bewildered. The plane was significantly off course, over 1,000 kilometers from its planned destination. Striving to maintain his composure, the controller probed further into the flight's predicament. He questioned whether the aircraft needed support or was in distress, but there was a delay in response. When it finally arrived, it nearly knocked Juan off his feet. The pilot revealed that they were scheduled to touch down at Miami International Airport at 9:55 on July 2, 1955.
Confronted with the challenge of informing the passengers without inciting hysteria, the controller inhaled deeply, urged calmness, and delivered a shocking update. "Captain, you are in contact with Caracas Airport on May 21, 1992. Stunned by this revelation, the pilot mustered his remaining focus and braced for landing. At this juncture, a ground crew was ready on the tarmac to facilitate their descent. Amidst this radio transmission, passengers' cries of terror were audible. On dry land, a security detail stood prepared to escort individuals to safety, a procedure they were assured could be executed without significant issues. As officers neared the slowly cruising aircraft, more screams erupted over the radio, This time from the captain himself. No, no, stay back. We're departing immediately. His actions were decisive. The pilot powered up once more, aligned with a runway, and departed from the airport sans official clearance, a hazardous maneuver that left many speculating about the bizarre occurrence. As Flight 914 soared once again, Venezuelan Air Force jets attempted an interception but failed to track it down, mirroring its earlier untraceable presence before its fleeting airport visit. Despite being an airplane with 57 souls aboard, it eluded military detection. Is this where it ends? Yet another account regarding this incident indicated another sighting of the aircraft, a disclosure that spawned more inquiries than resolutions. A few hours after departing from Caracas, the aircraft touched down at Miami International Airport, arriving 37 years behind schedule. At that instant, it was the American airport personnel and security team's turn to be astonished by the plane's arrival. What path did this plane take to arrive here under such circumstances? Where has it been over the past 37 years? These were among the inquiries posed following the deplaning of all individuals involved, including both the crew and passengers, who were reportedly subjected to extensive questioning for several hours. This incident bears a striking resemblance to the plot of the series Manifest, doesn't it? The parallels continue to grow, especially since the passengers of Flight 914 remained unaged since their departure in 1955, much like the series characters. Is this an instance of temporal displacement? A cosmic wormhole, perhaps? What's your take on this tale? Is it purely fictional, or could it be concealing a governmental secret? Share your thoughts below.